Most YouTubers, like freaking Alpha M, will give you 5 products that you need. They'll give you an AM cream, a PM cream, a scrub, a cleanser, and an eye cream. And all of these are supposed to be a requirement for your skin to look good. This is BS. I will share with you ancient wisdom, 10,000 years old wisdom, to help you have the best hair and skin you've ever had in your life. This video is not just about sunscreen, but we might as well start there. The first PSYOP, sunscreen. So sunburn is not a problem which I ever had. Sunburn is a white person problem. However, I used to think that if you don't have sunscreen on you, you'll straight up get skin cancer, which is not true. In fact, I'll tell you something interesting. Most sunscreen, all major brands, they contain either benzophenone or 4-MBC. Benzophenone and 4-MBC are estrogenics, and estrogenics are known to be cancer causing. I blame the seed oils. Polyunsaturated fatty acids integrate themselves into your cell membrane in your skin, and they cause the skin to be more sensitive to sunburn. So they added a foreign substance, seed oils, to our diet, which caused a problem, excessive sunburn and skin cancer even. And then they came up with a product which is supposed to solve that problem and sold us sunscreen. This is exactly what the esoteric health movement opposes. All major brands, like freaking Jergens, which you should never use, contain either parabens or phthalates or benzenes or phenols. In general, if an ingredient has the word benz or phen as a part of its name, I try to avoid it. Almost every single major brand, every single major product has parabens, phthalates, 4-MBC, or benzophenone if it's a sunscreen. The substances I mentioned are estrogenics. They are endocrine disrupting, which means that they interfere with your hormone systems. And if you specifically look at the sunscreen estrogenics, which is benzophenone and 4-MBC, what's going on here is very interesting. These molecules, they bind to the cell membrane of our skin cells, and the sun radiation, UV radiation, actually fuses them onto the membrane. So not only are they signaling estrogenic pathways, they are actually fused by the UV radiation, and they remain affixed to the skin cell literally for the entire life cycle of the cell until it dies. So not only is an estrogenic substance, it actually gets worse when exposed to sunlight, which is ridiculous because sunscreen is supposed to be used in sunlight. So what should you do? Well, I have this video for you, which is the esoteric skincare system. But listen, it doesn't start with the products. It actually starts with the water. Your water, your tap water, regardless of where you live on the globe, contains fluorides and chlorine. Definitely chlorine. So chlorine is what they use to kill bacteria in your water, right? So here's the problem. Chlorine literally kills cells. It literally causes DNA damage in order to kill bacterial cells. And that's true for your gut microbiome. That's also true for your mouth microbiome. But of course, when it comes to the skin, it causes skin damage. And I bet you've never even heard of what a shower filter is. So here's the interesting thing. Most skin problems can be solved by just getting a shower filter. Just remove the chlorine and you'll be fine half the time. But you'll never hear a dermatologist talk about a shower filter because they'll lose their jobs. So shower filter, that's priority number 1. Get yourself one. I briefly mentioned fluoride, but the deal with fluoride is way too complex to go into this video. I have a video out on that. Go check it out. I'll put it in the description. Next thing you do is cut out seed oils from your diet. So like I mentioned before, seed oils, polyunsaturated fatty acids, integrate themselves into cell membranes of your skin and cause them to be more prone to sunburn and sun damage in general. Now finally, coming to what products to use. And I literally have just one product, and well, this one is empty. I have literally one product, which is called Tallow Balm. You probably haven't even heard of Tallow Balm, but this was the moisturizer and sunscreen which people used tens of thousands of years before we switched over to our modern and inferior products. Tallow Balm is esoteric certified. But what is it, right? So Tallow Balm is nothing, it's just tallow. Tallow is animal fat rendered and purified. That's literally all it is. I think it's just one ingredient in here. And this is the only one which I use. I don't have a separate eye cream. I don't have an AM cream and a PM cream. I don't have a retinol. So here's something interesting. Tallow balm contains a lot of vitamin A, which is retinol. So some people buy a whole retinol product for that purpose. This has that in it as well. Another psyop, aftershave. This is better than any aftershave you'll find in any store. So humans have been using tallow balm for tens of thousands of years, probably more. And we live in interesting times. It's finally a time in which small businesses and small farms are able to come up with high quality products at scale to allow, manufacture that we can all afford to get. They can successfully compete with and win against these big brands. And I'm all for supporting small businesses who have a strong mission and are making good products. This is one example of that. The tallow balm which I use is by a brand called Vintage Tradition. There are other brands which you can go to. I know the owner of this brand, which is why I trust it more than any other brand. A guy called Kenneth, he and his brother run this thing. They only use the highest quality ingredients. I trust him. If you want to check this brand out in particular, they were actually able to give me a discount code, so you can check it out. I put in the description. I think the reason why tallow balm works so well, because it's an animal product. So we're animals. The fat profile, the fatty acid profile of plants and animals are simply different. So even things like shea butter, etc., yeah, they do the job and they're organic and everything, but they're simply not able to compete with an animal fat-based product, which is why this is nice. It contains, all the vitamins, A, B12, K, D in a bioavailable form. So I think that's why it's superior. Though I don't have any scientific studies or anything proving that. I just have personal experience. And from my personal experience, this is easily the way to go. Interesting story. I read the book Estrogenics, which I strongly recommend. It's a deep dive into all topics estrogenics related, right? And the author mentions that lavender, so check this product out. It's a pretty good product, no parabens, no phthalates, but it has lavender. Lavender is an estrogenic substance, but not so straightforward. So most lavender on the market today, like which they use in fragrances and whatnot, is artificial lavender. And it's the artificial lavender which is estrogenic. Natural organic lavender from the actual plant doesn't seem to be estrogenic. So if you find a tallow balm which has a lavender essential oil in it, from this company it's fine, because I know the guy, he confirmed that he only gets his lavender from plants. But other brands which have lavender, I would be suspicious of, especially your detergents. If your detergent has a lavender scent, highly suspicious. That's probably artificial lavender. You shouldn't use it. Try to go for odorless as much as possible. But literally everything I spoke about till now is completely irrelevant without a solid diet and sleep. So regarding sleep, if you want a esoteric sleep guide, let me know in the comments and I'll make that. And diet. Half the skincare routine videos on YouTube have nothing to do with diet. They say nothing about diet. Diet is more important than the products that you use. So speaking specifically about skincare and its relationship with diet, carrots. Carrots are important. The beta carotenes in carrots literally adds pigmentation to your skin, makes you look good. Eat your carrots. Then you need collagen. Chicken skins, very good source of collagen. Eat your chicken skins. But then it may not be sufficient, especially because you aren't eating chicken skins every day or anything. I would suggest supplementation with a collagen powder. So collagen powder is just a white powder, looks kind of like whey protein. It just dissolves in water, gives you collagen. And here's something interesting with collagen. Collagen can break down into glycine, and glycine improve your sleep. So diet plus sleep in this particular supplement. But is tallow balm a sunscreen? It's not. So here's the thing though. And some of you might actually still need sunscreen. Maybe you have just a very pale skin and your skin just burns in the sun. I understand that. So I will put in the description some sunscreens which are actually clean and which you are okay to use, which don't have estrogenic substances. I'll also provide non-tallow moisturizers and recommendations, because in case you aren't able to get the product or because you don't want to use it for whatever reasons, then I would suggest those products instead. Coming back to cleaning your face, most YouTube videos will suggest a cleanser and a scrub. They say the scrub is required for exfoliation. Not true, but coming for the cleaning first, right? I use this cream cleanser, very gentle, very moisturizing. It's a good product. So I said facial scrubs were BS, which is true, but you should possibly use this bentonite clay. Calcium bentonite clay. So this stuff is not a exfoliant. It won't like rub and wear your skin. It's a clay. It's like a face mask. You can read the instructions and follow them. You basically mix the powder. It's like a powder. I'll show you. It's like a powder, very fine clay powder. I don't know how well you can see it, but you take that stuff and you mix it with water or ideally apple cider vinegar. You mix it up, it becomes a paste, you apply the paste onto your face, and then after 10 minutes, you just wash it off and your skin guarantee will look better. And this is superior to any stupid face scrub which people are selling. Now, what do you use for body wash? Because body wash, well, this is a pretty good body wash to be honest, but even this does contain the artificial lavender, so I don't use it. Most body wash is pretty terrible. It has the same issues, the parabens, the phthalates, everything. So what I've gone to using is a literal bar soap. This is also by the same company, Vintage Tradition. It's literally a bar soap made from tallow. It's very good. I've been using it, but I'm sure this is not the only company which makes similar stuff, right? Get a bar soap, get a good bar soap. It doesn't necessarily have to be tallow. And you might be thinking, how often do you do all this? You wash your face once in the morning and once at night with a gentle cream cleanser. You apply the tallow balm after you wash your face. The bentonite clay, I only use it once a week. And of course, you shower every day with the bar soap. Now coming to hair care. The first thing, most important thing, is get yourself a wooden comb. Don't be using a plastic comb. Get yourself a wooden, what do you call these things? Like wooden barbs. And this is just so much better for your scalp than the plastic ones are. And then shampoo. So shampoos which contain phthalates damage your hair follicles. If you're balding, it's a good chance it's the phthalates which are causing it. So make sure that your shampoo is good quality, which means no parabens, no phthalate, no estrogenics of any kind. So this is a good shampoo which I found. It's sulfate free, paraben, phthalate free. And of course, you don't have to use this brand necessarily. I'll show you this brand in the link. You can check it out. Then after you shower, after you wash your hair, you still want to have a way to moisturize your hair. What do you use? Well, the most esoteric answer is olive oil. That's correct. So just 1 or 2 drops of olive oil, spread it out in your hands, apply it. You'll get that shine, you'll get the moisture. Speaking about my hair, so I started this video talking about how my hair was turning gray when I was freaking 20. And I plucked it out because, I was insecure about having gray hair at that young an age. Now my hair is super thick, super strong. And if I go to a hairdresser, right, every time the hairdresser lady, she'll comment like, oh my God, your hair is so thick, it's hard to cut, you're gonna blunt my scissors. So it went from really bad quality hair, which is graying, to very thick and strong hair, which is noticeable, right? You can see how much volume I have. It's because of the olive oil and of course removing the phthalates from my shampoo. Can you use coconut oil? Yes, you can use coconut oil, but the thing is, I don't like the smell of coconut oil. Olive oil smell kind of just vanishes after a couple minutes, so it's fine. And then olive oil isn't sufficient because I still want to kind of have some texture, some style, some hold in my hair. So I use this particular product, Seattle Pomade Company. So this is an excellent product. It's very cheap, surprisingly cheap. This is just beeswax essentially. The base is beeswax and then they add some honey fragrance or something like that. And not an artificial fragrance, by the way. So I'll link this also in the description. This, you just take it in your hand, apply it on your hair and you get this nice texture, nice hold. Otherwise, my hair would just kind of flop down. So, I mean, you might have to find the right product for yourself, but this is the one which I use. And for your body, what do you use to moisturize your body skin? Tallow works as well as it does on your face. You don't need another product. You can use your tallow. If you aren't able to get yourself some tallow, you can actually use olive oil. Just take a couple of drops of olive oil and rub it on your skin, and that's the best you can do. But if for whatever reason you don't want to use olive oil, there are some good brands. I have this everyday shea butter type lotion, which I do use. This is a good product, pretty clean. No parabens, no phthalates. I can link that in the description also. And then finally, you have pore strips. So these are strips which go on your nose and you leave them on for like 10 minutes and then you rip them off and it cleans your pores, I should say, from your nose. You don't need to do that often. Maybe once in 2 weeks is fine. But it doesn't matter how good you look if your breath smells awful. So if you want the oral hygiene esoteric guide, let me know in the comments. And if I make that guide, I will put the end card right here.